Hey guys, okay, welcome to Heart Academy for packet number 4 of the final review. Sorry for getting it so late, but what can I say? It's been busy, so and I don't know how many of you guys are actually going to watch this or not, but here we go. So first, I want to make sure that you understand that it's okay if you don't finish the entire packet before the final exam, but I hope you do finish the questions that are for you to do on your own. For instance, these three I'm going to do for Heart Academy. These three will be for you to do on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a continuation of the Pythagorean theorem that I left off with in packet number 3. So as you know, you're going to use the Pythagorean theorem for these. And the question is, do the following lengths form a right triangle? So basically you need to figure out if this configuration forms a right triangle. And if you're using the Pythagorean theorem with this, you know what we're talking about is a square plus b square equals c square. Okay, so you need to know if this plus this will equal this. Well, let's figure out what number goes where. As you know, the longest length is always the hypotenuse, which is C, and it doesn't matter which leg is A or B. So I know that this will be A, this will be B, this will be C. Or this could be A and this could be, doesn't matter, just as long as C is in the right spot, okay? So I have 6 square, that's 2, right? Plus 8 square equals 9 square. So to figure out if it's a right triangle, again, all you have to do the math. Does this plus this equal this? Let's do the math. Remember, 6 times 6, that's 36. And then we have 8 times 8. I can never figure that one out. What is that, 48? I don't know. You know I'm bad with the basic facts. 8 times 8, 64. I was off. 64. Does that equals 9 times 9, which is 81. Does this, let's add those two together. That's 100. You think I would have figured that one out. Equal this. It doesn't. So for the answer, is this a right triangle? Answer here is no, because 100 does not equal 81. Let's try number 3. Again, we're going to use a square plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, longest line is the hypotenuse, which is C. I'm going to call this A, call this B. Does not matter between the legs. Okay, so I have 8 square plus 6 square. Isn't that what we have for the other ones too? That's fine. It is. Look, 6 and 8. Except the hypotenuse went up by 1. Equals 10 square. Let's figure these out. As we did before, you have your 8 square, which was 64. Maybe that one I can commit to memory by now. Probably not. 6 times 6 is 36. And then we have your 10 times 10, which is the 100. Hey. And remember what we did last time? Do you remember how much that was going to be? Your 64 plus your 36? Oh, remember we had 100 last time, didn't we? And still 100 over this side. This one is a right triangle. Haha. Now, my last example of this is the one where you don't have a triangle at all. But do you really need a triangle? No, you don't, because you have A, you have B, you have C. So let's go ahead and set it up. Again, A squared plus, that's 2, B squared equals C squared. What's my A? 6.4. What's my B? 12. What's my C? 12.2. Let's do the math. 6.4 squared, that's 6.4 times 6.4, I get 40.96 plus 12 times 12, which is 144, equals 12.2 times 12.2, 148.84. I'm going to make that a little bit neater. 148.84. Okay, let's add these together. So that means I have 40.96 plus 144. That gives me 184.96. Does that equal my 148.84? Answer is no. So now you have your examples. In order for you to be able to do the ones on this side, those are the ones that count. All right. Now, you're going to need these formulas in order to remember how to do these. So I'm going to go ahead and start with those. Okay. And remember, with the compound shapes, you're going to figure out the two shapes and add them together, compound shapes. Okay. So what do we see? We have a rectangle and a circle. Half circle here, half circle here. You got two circles. So if you find the area of the rectangle, find the area of the circle, add them together, voila. All right. So what's the formula for the rectangle? If you don't remember, okay, here's your rectangle. Area, length times width. What's the formula for area of a circle? Pi times radius squared. Okay, so let me write those down. I'm going to do for the rectangle, length times width for the rectangle, right? And then for the circle, I'm going to do pi times the radius squared. Okay, so let's go scroll back down. Rectangle, length times width, the length times the width, or vice versa. As you can see, I have 30 times 10. There you go. So I have the length, which is actually 10 times 30. Doesn't really matter either way because you want to get the same answer. Okay, so that will be what you get. What do you have? Your 30 times your 10, 300. That could be a little bit weird. Close enough. Now let's do for the circle. 3.14 pi times the radius squared. What's the radius here? Well, this is giving us halfway, because this is halfway, okay? Because let's look at it this way. If this was the full circle, okay? Well, actually, there's your two half. This is half, and this is half. So this is that half, this is that half. It's saying half is 10, and this half is 10, okay? So the radius, which means halfway, is 10. All the way would be 20, because 10 plus a 10 is 20. So the radius, okay, is 10, and then you're going to square that. 10 times 10 is 100. So pi times 100. Okay, so your 3.14 times 100, I have 314. 314. And what we're going to do is add those two shapes together. 300 for the rectangle, 314 for the circle. Okay, so you should get 614. Area, 614. Put your yards. Okay, so now I'm going to back up to make sure that you understood what just happened here. You have this figure, which is length times width. And then you have half a circle here, half a circle here. This half of the circle has 10 for the radius, okay? And this half of the circle also has 10 for the radius, all right? So the whole circle would actually have 20 for a diameter, meaning if it went all the way, it would be 20. So again, radius is halfway, so keep it with a 10. There we go. Let's try another one. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, I'll try one that's like this. What are the two shapes that we see here? I see a triangle and a rectangle. Now you know this one is going to be length times width. What's the formula for the triangle? Let's take a look. I happen to have my formulas right here. Aha. And I'll just flip that over a little bit. There we go. And I'll just scoot it out of the way. There we go. Area of a triangle is going to be 1/2 times base times height. New problem. All right. So I'm going to do the triangle first, which is 1/2 times base times height. Now, if you don't want to work with fractions, guess what? 1/2 is 0.50, isn't it? So 0.50 times the base. Hey, what's the base of this triangle? It matches this, doesn't it? So 10 times the height. What's the height of this triangle? 5. Let's multiply those together, see what we get. All right. .50 times 10 times 5. I get 25. So this area is 25. And for this rectangle, I have 10 times 8, which we know is 80. So this area is 80. Add them together. What do we get? 105. Area 105 inches. Okay. Let's try another one. Still have time on this video. Okay. What do you see on number 3? Well, I see. I'm gonna make it easy for myself. Bam! Okay, that was so not straight. Close enough. All right, so I see a perfect square, right? So this means it's going to be 3 by 3, as far as I can tell, okay? And this will be 3 by, ooh, how tall is this? Well, if I know that this much, watch this, I know that this much is 3. So all the way up to here is 3. And that means it's telling me that all the way down to here is 3. So how much is this entire side? 6. So I have 3 by 6 for this. See that? So 3 times 6, because it's a rectangle, so you know you're doing length times width. I already know that's 18. Right? Now I also have here a 3 by 3. So this one, 3 times 3, 9. See that one? Perfect little square. So then we just simply add those together, and you will get 27 centimeters. I think those should be squared. There we go. And let's see, this one, same as that one. Triangle. Oh, and a perfect square. Okay. Let's see if I have enough time on this video to do this one and this one. Oh, but here's the thing with this one. Oh, I see I made this one on your own. So, well, here's the thing with this one. You have this, okay, and half a circle. You know how to get the area of the circle. That was pi radius square, remember? So, the radius is 2, right? So, when you get the circle amount, remember, you then have to divide that answer by 2, because you don't have a full circle like you did here. Half here and half here. So whatever the answer is, you got to make sure you divide it by 2, because the other half of the circle is not there. So you only have half of that circle. You understand what I'm saying for that one? Same thing with this one, which I might have time to put in. Let me figure it out. Let me do this one. I'm going to figure out the half of this circle. Here we go. So if I know it's pi radius square, that's 3.14 times the radius, which is 6, but square it, which is 36. The radius is 6. 6 squared is 36. So if I multiply those two, which I have, 3.14 times 36 equals 113.04, then I'm going to divide it by 2. So I would then have 56.52. So this amount of area is actually 56.52, because I had to take my answer and divide it by 2. Okay? So remember, this amount originally was 3.14 times 36, 113.04 divided by 2. Time's running out on this one. I will see you on the next one. I'll pick up from there.